Yo, what's up, guys? So this one is called How the Industry is Fair and Makes Perfect Sense. Okay? And I can feel you already like, fuck you, dude. This is chaos and it makes no sense. But it does. And here's why. And I want to hit this point first. I know that my videos, it seems like I'm all over the place, dude. You're telling me like this advice and these tips and this recommend this, and it just seems like all over the place, dude. Like, what the hell? The reason that is, and I like to make distinctions that I don't see people make, in the writer community. This distinction there is that I believe that there's a different. The reason why I'm like that is because I believe there's a different approach depending on who you go to. If I'm going to like a manager sort of trainee who's about to become manager with my material, I'm going to them a different way than I would their boss. And I'm gonna go to a manager differently than I would an agent. I'm gonna go to a producer differently than I would an agent. I'm gonna go to an executive differently than I would an agent or a producer or a manager. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it seems all over the place. It's because everything is very specific, I think, if you're gonna do it smart. Every approach is different, and this video is also about being green, and learning this stuff takes time. So I know a lot of writers are like, man, I don't understand, like, why can't they just read my shit, man? That makes no fucking sense. It'd be so easy, I have the thing that they want, but the problem is, and here's where it does make sense, where the filtering comes in. If they took a look at every single thing that every writer thinks every writer thinks their shit is fucking brilliant and it's ready to go. But the problem is most of it is not ready to go. And even, I would say a lot of people would say, even like, I'm not even saying it's bad. It's just not ready. A lot of times it's just not ready for me to lay eyes on it. So that's why the filtering system is that way, the gatekeepers or whatever, so that I make sure if I'm gonna take a look at it, I'm not wasting the company's money, or I will get fired, so it makes sense. Like, would you want to look at material that you don't know if it's ready or not? No one's vetted it, just someone randomly just, hey, can you look at it? Probably not. You'd probably want someone to vouch for it and say, hey man, like if you're gonna produce something, for example, wouldn't you want someone to be like, they come to you, they're like, yeah, we got a whole team behind it, like everybody's like on board, all this kind of shit, and then you're like, okay, yeah, that seems like something to look at, versus something that's like naked. So see, it makes sense. Even though as writers we feel like, man, they're wasting our time, this kind of shit, but it's like, it makes sense. And here's the thing, it's good news, bad news, because if they took a look at every fucking thing, then those scripts that are way shittier than yours are gonna be in your way. So that's good news that a lot of those scripts are gonna get pushed out of the fucking way so you can get your great script through easier, right? And I'll tell my greenest moment right here. I was like 25. I lived right behind A&M Records, and I call over there. I had the gumption. I call over there. I said, "Hey, I would like to submit my demo," and they're like, "Great, have your rep send it over." I'm like, "Excuse me, like, no, I live like a block away. I can just walk it over real quick. Like, what's with this minutia, right?" I was green, dude. I didn't know how the industry worked, and even though I had been repped by modeling agent at this point and commercials and shit, I still didn't fucking super get the industry yet, and why it functions like that. And so they hang up on me, you know, and that's one of the things I do when I do calls with some writers. We role play, and how would the call go, and you know, and that's why, because my point there is that I didn't know who I was speaking to, is my point. And when I role play a lot of calls with writers, they don't know I can tell they don't know who they're speaking to. And I asked them, do you know who you're speaking to? Now I know who I was speaking to. I was speaking to the receptionist. She has nothing to do with A&R. You know, and here I am pitching to the receptionist, you know? And my point there is that, you know, then I could not have gotten through to someone, you know, a decision maker, so to speak. Now I could. Now, you know, like I can get through to people who I know, for sure. But I also think I could get through to people who I don't know by cold calling them, because I know how to do it, you know, and depending on if it's an agent or manager, producer, executive, I know how to fucking like speak the language, or a publisher even, for example. I've gotten through to a publisher, a big one, because I know how to fucking speak that language for that, you know. So all I'm saying is like, be patient, and this shit will come over time, and you'll learn sort of how to maneuver through the industry, you know, and be glad that there are these filters, because it's going to keep the shittier scripts out of your fucking way. Okay, good luck guys, best of luck.